Shalom, family, and thank you so much for joining us for this week's scripture reading. And this week we'll be reading from Exodus chapter 6, verse 2, through chapter 9, verse 35, Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 25 through chapter 29, verse 21, and Romans chapter 9, verses 14 through 33. And the Elohim spake unto Moshe, and said unto him, I am Yahuwah. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, by the name of El Shaddai, but by my name Yahuwah was I not known to them. And I have also established my covenant with them, to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Yasharel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. Wherefore say unto the children of Yasharel, I am Yahuwah, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm, and with great judgments, and I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you Elohim, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah your Elohim, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will bring you into the land concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for an heritage. I am Yahuwah. And Moshe spake so unto the children of Yasharel, but they hearkened not unto Moshe for anguish of spirit, and for cruel bondage. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Go in, speak unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, that he let the children of Yasharel go out of his land. And Moshe spake before Yahuwah, saying, Behold, the children of Yasharel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe and unto Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Yasharel, and unto Pharaoh king of Egypt, to bring the children of Yasharel out of the land of Egypt. These be the heads of their fathers' houses. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Yasharel, Anuk and Palu, Ezron and Carmi. These be the families of Reuben. And the sons of Simeon, Yemuel and Yamin, Ohad and Yakin and Zohar, and Shaul, the son of the Canaanitess woman. These are the families of Simeon. And these are the names of the sons of Levi according to their generations, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libni and Shimi, according to their families. And the sons of Kohath, Amram, and Ishar, and Hebron, and Uzziel. And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years. And the sons of Merari, Mahali and Mushi. These are the families of Levi, according to their generations. And Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife, and she bare him Aaron and Moshe. And the years of the life of Amram were 137 years. And the sons of Ishar, Korah, and Nepheg, and Zikri. And the sons of Uzziel, Mashiel, and Elzaphan, and Zitri. And Aaron took him Elisheba, daughter of Aminadab, sister of Naashon, to wife, and she bare him Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And the sons of Korah, Asir, and Elkanah, and Abiasaph. These are the families of the Korahites. And Eleazar, Aaron's son, took him one of the daughters of Putiel to wife, and she bare him Phinehas. These are the heads of the fathers of the Levites, according to their families. These are that Aaron and Moshe, to whom Yahuwah said, Bring out the children of Yasharel from the land of Egypt, according to their armies. These are they which spake to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Yasharel from Egypt. These are that Moshe and Aaron. And it came to pass on the day when Yahuwah spake unto Moshe in the land of Egypt, that Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, I am Yahuwah. Speak thou unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say unto thee. And Moshe said before Yahuwah, Behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Yasharel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth mine armies, and my people, the children of Yasharel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgments. And the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt, and bring out the children of Yasharel from among them. And Moshe and Aaron did as Yahuwah commanded them, so did they. And Moshe was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old, when they spake unto Pharaoh. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe and unto Aaron, saying, When Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, Show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, Take thy rod, and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moshe and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahuwah had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out unto the water, and thou shalt stand by the river's brink against thee come. And the rod, which was turned to a serpent, shalt thou take in thine hand. And thou shalt say unto him, Yahuwah Elohim of the Hebrews hath sent me unto thee, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. Thus saith Yahuwah, In this thou shalt know that I am Yahuwah. Behold, I will smite with a rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, Say unto Aaron, Take thy rod, and stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, that they may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. And Moshe and Aaron did so, as Yahuwah commanded. And he lifted up the rod, and smote the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Pharaoh, and in the sight of his servants, and all the waters that were in the rivers were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank. And the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments, and Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them, as Yahuwah had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also. And all the Egyptians digged round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled. After that, Yahuwah had smitten the river. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahuwah, Let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. And the frogs shall come up both on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, Say unto Aaron, Stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments, and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moshe and Aaron, and said, Entreat Yahuwah, that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people. And I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifice unto Yahuwah. And Moshe said unto Pharaoh, Kavod over me, when shall I entreat for thee, and for thy servants, and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain in the river only? And he said, Tomorrow. And he said, Be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto Yahuwah our Elohim. And the frogs shall depart from thee, and from thy houses, and from thy servants, and from thy people. They shall remain in the river only. And Moshe and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moshe cried unto Yahuwah because of the frogs, which he had brought against Pharaoh. And Yahuwah did according to the word of Moshe, and the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. And when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart, and hearkened not unto them, as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Say unto Aaron, Stretch out thy rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so. For Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod, and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. Then the magicians said unto Pharaoh, This is the finger of Elohim. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yahuwah had said. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahuwah, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am Yahuwah in the midst of the earth. And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. And Yahuwah did so. And there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies. And Pharaoh called for Moshe and for Aaron, and said, Go ye, sacrifice to your Elohim in the land. And Moshe said, It is not meet so to do. For we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to Yahuwah our Elohim. Lo, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes? Will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness, and sacrifice to Yahuwah our Elohim, as he shall command us. And Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that you may sacrifice to Yahuwah your Elohim in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away. Entreat for me. And Moshe said, Behold, I go out from thee, and I will entreat Yahuwah, that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully any more, in not letting the people go to sacrifice to Yahuwah. And Moshe went out from Pharaoh and entreated Yahuwah. And Yahuwah did according to the word of Moshe, and he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, and from his servants, and from his people there remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. Then Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and wilt hold them still, behold, the hand of Yahuwah is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon thy horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain, and Yahuwah shall sever between the cattle of Yasharel and the cattle of Egypt. And there shall nothing die of all that is the children's of Yasharel. And Yahuwah appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow Yahuwah shall do this thing in the land. And Yahuwah did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died. But of the cattle of the children of Yasharel did not one. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Yasharelites dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe and unto Aaron, Take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moshe sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and it shall be a boil, breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast, throughout all the land of Egypt. And they took ashes of the furnace, and stood before Pharaoh, and Moshe sprinkled it up toward heaven, and it became a boil, breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moshe because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians, and upon all the Egyptians. And Yahuwah hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yahuwah had spoken unto Moshe. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exaltest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go? Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as hath not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even until now. Send therefore now, and gather thy cattle, and all that thou hast in the field. For upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die. He that feared the word of Yahuwah among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses. And he that regarded not the word of Yahuwah left his servants and his cattle in the field. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. And Moshe stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and Yahuwah sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and Yahuwah rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt all that was in the field, both man and beast, and the hail smote every herb of the field, and brake every tree of the field. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Yasharel were, was there no hail. And Pharaoh sent and called for Moshe and Aaron, and said unto them, I have sinned this time. Yahuwah is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Entreat Yahuwah, for it is enough, that there be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. And Moshe said unto him, As soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto Yahuwah, and the thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know how that the earth is Yahuwah's. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that ye will not fear Yahuwah Elohim. And the flax and the barley was smitten, for the barley was in the ear, and the flax was bold. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. And Moshe went out of the city from Pharaoh, and spread abroad his hands unto Yahuwah, and the thunders and hail ceased. The rain was not poured upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more, and hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, neither would he let the children of Yasharel go, as Yahuwah had spoken by Moshe. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 25. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, When I shall have gathered the house of Yasharel from the people among whom they are scattered, and shall be sanctified in them in the sight of the heathen, then shall they dwell in their land that I have given to my servant Jacob. And they shall dwell safely therein, and shall build houses, and plant vineyards. Yea, they shall dwell with confidence, when I have executed judgments upon all those that despise them round about. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah, their Elohim. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, in the 12th day of the month, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and prophesy against him, and against all Egypt. Speak and say, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, My river is mine own, and I have made it for myself. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales, and I will bring thee up out of the midst of thy rivers, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick unto thy scales. And I will leave thee thrown in the wilderness, thee and all the fish of thy rivers. Thou shalt fall upon the open fields. Thou shalt not be brought together, nor gathered. I have given thee for meat to the beasts of the field, and to the fowls of heaven. And all the inhabitants of Egypt shall know that I am Yahuwah, because they have been a staff of reed to the house of Yasharel. When they took hold of thee by thy hand, thou didst break, and rend all their shoulder. And when they leaned upon thee, thou breakest, and madest all their loins to be at a stand. Therefore thus saith Yahuwah Elohayim, Behold, I will bring a sword upon thee, and cut off man and beast out of thee. And the land of Egypt shall be desolate and waste, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah. Because he hath said, The river is mine, and I have made it. Behold, therefore, I am against thee, and against thy rivers, and I will make the land of Egypt utterly waste and desolate, from the tower of Seim even unto the border of Ethiopia. No foot of man shall pass through it, nor foot of beast shall pass through it, neither shall it be inhabited 40 years. And I will make the land of Egypt desolate in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and her cities among the cities that are laid waste shall be desolate 40 years. And I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and will disperse them through the centuries. Yet thus saith Yahuwah Elohayim, At the end of 40 years will I gather the Egyptians from the people whither they were scattered, and I will bring again the captivity of Egypt, and will cause them to return into the land of Pathros, into the land of their habitation, and they shall be there a base kingdom. It shall be the basis of the kingdoms, neither shall it exalt itself any more above the nations. For I will diminish them, that they shall no more rule over the nations. And it shall be no more the confidence of the house of Yasharel, which bringeth their iniquity to remembrance, when they shall look after them. But they shall know that I am Yahuwah Elohayim. And it came to pass in the 27th year, in the first month, in the first day of the month, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon caused his army to serve a great service against Tyrus. Every head was made bald, and every shoulder was peeled. Yet had he no wages, nor his army for Tyrus, for the service that he had served against it. Therefore thus saith Yahuwah Elohayim, Behold, I will give the land of Egypt unto Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and he shall take her multitude, and take her spoil, and take her prey, and it shall be the wages for his army. I have given him the land of Egypt for his labor wherewith he served against it, because they wrought for me, saith Yahuwah Elohayim. In that day will I cause the horn of the house of Yasharel to bud forth, and I will give thee the opening of the mouth in the midst of them, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah. Romans chapter 9, verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Elohayim? Elohayim forbid. For he saith to Moshe, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Elohayim that showeth mercy. For the Scripture saith unto Pharaoh, Even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, Why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against Elohayim? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor, and another unto dishonor? What if Elohim, willing to show his wrath, and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his kavod on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto kavod? Even us he hath called, not of the Yahudim only, but also of the Gentiles. As he saith also in Hosea, I will call them my people, which are not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass, that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living Elohim. Yashayahu also cried concerning Yasharel, though the number of the children of Yasharel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work, and cut it short in Zedekah, because a short work will Yahuwah make upon the earth. And as Yashayahu said before, except Yahuwah of Sebaoth hath left us a seed, we had been as Sadumah, and been made like unto Gomorrah. What shall we say then, that the Gentiles which followed not after Zedekah have attained to Zedekah, even the Zedekah which is of faith? But Yasharel, which followed after the Torah of Zedekah, hath not attained in the Torah of Zedekah? Wherefore? Because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the Torah. For they stumbled at the stumbling stone. As it is written, Behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone, and rock of offense, and whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. Thank you so much for joining us. Shabbat Shalom.